step number 6 in this process is the rehearsal itself. Once I got that score marked and I'm ready to go, you got to plan the rehearsal. I have to plan the technique I'm going to use. That's where all your technique classes come in, not only instrumental technique classes, but conducting technique classes. You can pay attention there and learn an awful lot. The concept of, and this is the number one complaint in conducting every year, we don't get enough podium time. Well, who does? Nobody ever has, nobody ever will. Conduct university band, get involved in that. While somebody else is up on the podium conducting, even in your rehearsal, play the music, do your part, but when you're resting, watch the conductor. Write some notes down and find out. You are your own teacher. Your education is limited by what you're going to get out of this. There's a lot of things that you could do. Now, when we finally get the planning done, we have the technique under our fingers, we're ready to go, we execute the plan, right? We go in front of the band and do that. And the final thing is, after it's over, videotape yourself during the process and watch it. You'll hear your voice, your inflection. We all look 15 pounds heavier. And then we realize, too, that we're doing the same thing over and over again. There's little tidbits and stuff that even are annoying to you. I do that, and it's a very humbling experience going, oh my God, are you old? That forehead's about 9 feet long now, right? The hair is gone, so there it is.
And I think we're just talking about the evaluation aspect of it. I sometimes try to approach this like I used to play football, and like it's sitting down studying film like professional whatever sports players do. You need to look at yourself with kind of a unbiased kind of eye and just feel free to be a little bit harsh on yourself. Recognize what you're doing well, but look at it with a critical eye. Be like, okay, so I'm doing this a lot. What can I change in order for either to not do that anymore or to improve upon that? So I think it's really important that it's a really weird thing to watch yourself, and sometimes it's a hard thing to watch yourself. But it's something that as you do it more, as you video yourself at whatever stage you are, that you'll become more comfortable, one, with watching yourself, but then you'll continue to develop that critical eye of what can I do best for my students.
And to piggyback on that, one of the things that I wanted to point out from a couple slides ago is talking about the musical needs and the interpretation needs. And for me, a lot of times too, it's sitting down and getting to know, we know the melodies really well, but how well do we know the counter melodies? Because sometimes those counter melodies have some really great music in them. And so being able to sit down, I'll sit down at a piano and I'll work my way through some of those lines because I want to hear how they fit together. Because I look at it almost as like a set of Legos, and I'm trying to build something with these blocks that the composer has given me. And so sitting down and being able to just look at a piece and look at a line and say, oh, I see how that fits together. I know exactly what that sounds like. Because a lot of times our error detection and how we're going to plan those rehearsals and the interpretations that we're going to make are going to be how well we're bringing what we know, what we want it to sound like as conductors, bringing that information to the score rather than trying to dig it out of the score as we're in the middle of a rehearsal.
That's a great point and well stated. The other thing to add on to that, lots of times what I'll do is I'll go back, if you're looking at the melody and you're trying to figure out what's going on in front, I'll go back to the ensemble and rehearsal. So let's go back to D, but no melody play, everybody else. Mm-hmm. Now that's when you get a lot of looks from the band like, hey, do I have melody? And I don't tell them. Because the idea behind this is the process to figure that out opens up your ears. You're on fire, and they're masters at putting the clarinet close to their mouth thinking, maybe I do have the melody, so I better look like I'm playing, and then all of a sudden they relax and take it down and they realize they don't. So not only are we reinforcing what we want to hear, we're reinforcing to them, this is what the music structure is, because there's more than rhythms and notes involved in the process of performing. There's no question.
Absolutely.